Wonder drug or ruining you? WeGovy or Ozempic use for weight loss? Is using WeGovy a good idea or just plain dangerous? In this video, I want to share with you my thoughts about the weight loss drug WeGovy or Ozempic. I'm not a physician, so what you'll get is my opinion as an experienced psychologist. First, what is WeGovy and how does it work? WeGovy and Ozempic are similar in content and are both used for weight loss. They're both injections of a drug called semaglutide. Semaglutide is a copy of a naturally occurring hormone in our body called GLP-1. To my knowledge, and for ultra short summary, the GLP is released naturally in the guts after the intake of a meal. GLP-1 releases after the stomach is filled and sends signals to the brain that we're full. Taking WeGovy, which is a copy of this, is causing us to feel full all the time, and not only when we've eaten. When we're full, as you probably know, we get reduced cravings for food and stop wanting to eat more. So instead of getting the natural effect of stopping hunger or stopping craving of food by being full from having eaten, we'll feel artificially full if we're on WeGovy. Just like if we had something in our stomach all the time. It's not unlike the ill-advised trick of the 90s where people were eating cotton balls to fill the stomach, or the effect that comes from reducing the stomach size in obesity sleeve operations. Because WeGovy has the fullness effect, it makes it so that many reduce their food intake and lose weight when using it. WeGovy is a medical drug, one that you can get on prescription. Doctors can prescribe it to individuals whose BMI is above 30 or above 27 if obesity-related illnesses sort of are present as well. This was the summary. But what's the relevance of a psychologist telling you about this? Why do you need to hear my opinion? Well, let me tell you what my thoughts are, and then you can decide if they're relevant or not. WeGovy was licensed for use in 2021. When I heard about the drug at first, my reaction was very positive. I thought, wow, how amazing. Good job, researchers. How lucky are we to live in the 2020s? This is going to help so many people. Incredible. I worked as a psychologist in obesity wards, in teams with doctors, physiotherapists, and nutritionists, and I remember how difficult it was to produce significant results for the overweight patients. I remember that I almost hoped sometimes, along with the patients, that their blood test would show low TSH, which is an indicator for low metabolism, so that they might be able to get some medical help that could help them lower their weight problem. But mostly we were disappointed because it turns out that for most, it's not really that they have low TSH, their bodies are normal in that sense, that they were just overeating. And this was very difficult to help them stop doing. Really difficult. Because when the body is up to a certain weight, it kind of wants to stay that weight. Our biology is not designed for weight loss, it's designed more for weight maintenance and growing. So my initial thought when I heard about WeGovy was, yes, it's here. Now we have something that we can combine their treatment with. We can both help with the psychological factors of overeating behavior, help them with nutrition, physical movement, and give them an aid that helps them feel that the body's resistance to weight loss a bit less. And I read that this new drug was based on copying the hormone already present in the body. It sounded like it had fewer side effects. It was not based on the drug ephedrine, like the former weight loss drugs, also known as fen-phen, which was banned because it turned out it caused symptoms of anger and heart problems, either leading to just a difficult life due to constant anger or death due to a too fast beating heart. This new drug also didn't seem to have the side effects that many other drugs before that had. It didn't cause constant diarrhea, making it so that the patients who were using it had to be near a toilet almost all the time. It did not involve surgery that, other than the normal dangers of surgery, also turned out to be quite dangerous for patients who could not stop overeating anyways and would burst their stitches by overfilling their new small stomachs, or simply just expand their stomachs again, reversing the surgery and sort of being back at point zero. WeGovy as a weight loss remedy sounded great in comparison to what we've been able to offer until now. Of course, in the context of it being a drug, a medical intervention. As the promise of doctors are, first do no harm, giving a drug always has to be weighed against if it helps more than it damages. The side effects of WeGovy sounded manageable, like not great, and I'll get back to that, but if it worked in helping out turn around obesity for individuals struggling, it would win in the balance in my book. Being very overweight leads to many problems. Some physical and some psychological. Being challenged in movement and looking out of the norm can affect quality of life and cause mental health problems. It can be more difficult to go to work, socialize, and move around in the world, and many feel that they're stigmatized due to having a bigger body size. We know from research that losing weight, if you're very overweight, can improve your both physical and psychological well-being. But we also know that it's very difficult. It's difficult to be on a restricted diet. It's difficult to have to eat less. Feeling very hungry hungry all the time. The body screaming for food can make it difficult to concentrate on anything else. We'll be more inclined to think about food, notice food more in our surroundings, and if we succeed in skipping a meal or eating less, then the urge to overeat just comes twofold at the next meal. Being hungry can make it difficult to sleep and make you feel not okay overall. So them inventing something that could help with reducing hunger and reducing overeating sounded wonderful to me. So in 2021, the drugs had finished their testing and entered the market, and it showed real weight loss results. Right, I thought. Of course, with new drugs, there are always the concern about the long-term effects. But compared to the known effects of being very overweight and that the drug was not meant to be a permanent solution, but something taken temporarily alongside a weight loss program, it sort of sounded promising. I was happy, and I didn't really think more about it. I don't work in the obesity ward anymore, and I've for years worked as a clinical psychologist working with mental health, so this topic didn't really cross my path as much. But then recently, here in 2024, I started hearing more about it again. More and more news reports came out about WeGovy and Ozempic. These were not news about patients with BMIs over 30 or patients with high BMI and diabetes. No, it was about healthy people, normal weight people using it for weight loss. TikTok is not huge when you're almost 40 like me, but I saw the TikToks referred to in the news reports that celebrities and young individuals were using the drug to slim down. Of course, I've always known that you could buy all kinds of drugs on the black market, that is, without prescription, but from a dealer somewhere. I worked in eating disorder wards for some years, and I've heard about all the options of illegally obtaining weight loss drugs. I knew about it, but formerly, the market hasn't really been huge, as most people didn't go search for buying prescription drugs on the black market, not for weight loss anyways. I read a statistic from a Danish interview of the public about WeGovy that said that 1 in 5 would take it if they had the option. 1 in 5 are not severely overweight in Denmark, so not all of them would be able to get the drug from their doctor. From my time working in hospitals, I know that it's quite strict with prescriptions and medical interventions here. You can only get medicine if you need it. Therefore, it also surprised me that a lot of reports spoke about lower weight individuals using the drug, that the sales of the drug were skyrocketing. I was a bit puzzled. How can that be? Well, it turns out that masses of people are buying it illegally or get it from lying on online doing phone consultations only. Up until now, up until last Friday, I think it was, you could just lie about having a too high BMI to an online clinic and get a prescription that way. Just last Friday, the Danish government prohibits it, that online clients from prescribing the drug without a consultation, where they can sort of confirm the body size of the individuals. And the government is, of course, as always, trying to limit whatever goes on in the black market. But the fact is that many individuals seem to be using the drug designed for people with a BMI over 30. Not few, many. And that it's sort of become a popular thing, also shown off by celebrities. I don't think we've ever had so much influencing about a medical drug, or so many wanting to get it. This is where I get a bit concerned, because just as great as I think WeGovy or Ozempic might turn out to be for the severely overweight individuals, helping them lower their weight and continue healthier habits from an easier starting point, just as scary I think it sounds that the drug is being used by individuals who are not in the category that it's designed for. But what is it about the WeGovy trend that concerns me? Well, now we know a little bit more about how it works. As said, there are enough individuals telling about their experience with it. It seems like that when you take the drug, you still feel hungry and get the cravings, but you feel full or put off from food when you start eating. So it works more in the meal situation, making you feel less likely to binge. More information about the side effects have also been shown. The side effects are stomach pains, indigestion, burps with sort of bad mouth taste, vomiting, fatigue, heartburn, muscle loss, hair loss, headaches, dry skin, and reflux. Other side effects that I can think of coming just from dieting or sort of restricting can be depressive symptoms, low energy, emotional imbalance, dizziness, and cognitive problems, such as problems concentrating. In short, using the drug or restricting in itself will make you feel kind of bad. As many with severe overweight already have physical or psychological side effects due to their obesity, it can be said to still live up to the doctor's first do no harm rule, or that it's worth it, of course based on serious considerations between your doctor and you. But if your starting point is that you're in fine physical and mental health, is using it then a good idea? Here's a list of my 10 biggest concerns as a psychologist about using Wegovy when you're not severely overweight. Number 1. Losing weight doesn't make you happy. Becoming skinny won't fix your problem. Maybe it's unnecessary to tell you, but I find myself having to educate on this many times with young women and men in my clinic. If you're at a normal weight, weight loss will not improve your mental health. If you're severely overweight, we do see that losing weight is strongly correlated to reduction in depressive symptoms. But this is not the case for normal weight individuals. Many think that losing weight will make them feel better or happier, but this is not the case. As with other behavior, if we do something hard that we think is worth it because we think it's going to produce results, such as we imagine that we'll feel better if we lose weight, we will get frustrated or disappointed when it does not work. Losing weight for not obese individuals will not lead to lowering of anxiety or depressive symptoms or better self-worth. It might leave you skinnier, but not happier. Number 2, financial stress. Wegovy is not free. If you get it on prescription in Denmark, it costs circa $220 per month, US dollars that is, if you buy it legally through your doctor. If you buy it lying to an online, it will be about double that. And the black market prices are double that, so reports say. So you might end up paying $900 US dollars per month. That's a huge amount of money for many. I can think of many examples of how financial stress leads to unhappiness in people's lives and how this is also a factor to be taken into account. I've just heard that there are some price wars going on between the pharmaceutical companies, which makes it so that the prices may become lower. So if in the future it's not the price that's stopping us, here are 8 more of my concerns. Number 3, weight gain if you stop. You will likely gain it all back when you stop taking the drug. The drug works on feelings of fullness and making you not wanting to continue eating during a meal. This causes you to eat less and thereby lose weight. But when you no longer take the drug, just like with other restrictive diets, you will likely gain it back and more. One study done already says that 75% regained a significant amount of weight back after stopping. Using a drug to prevent you from eating as much for a while due to eating making you feel sick will have no impact on future behavioral learning. So there is as such nothing in Wegovy that sort of helps you maintain the weight loss behavior afterwards. You don't learn to eat smaller portions or healthier. You just end up eating less because it makes you feel a bit sick. When you no longer feel sick from the drug, such as when you stop taking it, you'll likely just eat as you did before, causing you to gain the weight back. And this can cause many to feel a sense of defeat. Number 4, is stopping hunger really a good thing? Because the effect of the drug makes you miss out on natural hunger, you will likely be more prone to forget to eat and forget to drink. Many report feeling nauseous or poorly. Whether this is from the drug or due to their under-eating or under-intake of water, it's a little bit difficult to tell. My concern here with it stopping the natural hunger cues is that it might present nutritional problems. With fasting or people who eat too little, such as elderly or small children, we are very aware that their diet needs to be dense with nutrients and fats and protein. I do not know if this awareness is present for users of Wegovy. When we eat less, we need to be mindful to not end up in deficiencies. And I do wonder if some of the reported side effects of feeling very unwell can be due to not getting what your body needs. Number 5, if you don't already have an eating disorder, you might get one. Doctors say that they're concerned that healthy individuals take medicine due to beauty concerns. I'm a bit concerned as well. My concern here is, will we be able to decide along the way that now it's time to stop? Will we be able to control ourselves? Or will more sort of lead to more? How do we know that we won't end up with an eating disorder or other compulsive disorder? My experience is that eating disorders can come sneaking, even though if we did not set out to become obsessive about food and weight. But that simple under-eating or a too fast weight loss can come with eating disorder symptoms as a consequence, and that this makes individuals lose control over their own will. I read that Wegovy makes you stop wanting to eat, and that after a normal-sized meal, you'll feel like you have overeaten. This is not normal. Eating is normal, and feeling okay after a meal is normal. Feeling like you don't want to eat at all or feeling bad after eating doesn't sound very good to me. This sounds very similar to what we see with eating disorder development. Should we be concerned about anorexic or bulimic behavior developing? Is it wise to take the drug that makes you vomit after eating? Can taking this lead to an eating disorder? In my opinion, yes. I think there's a likelihood of that. You lose some weight that maybe you shouldn't have lost in the first place, or maybe you lost it too quickly, and you end up getting a bit obsessive about weight and food. What protects many from developing eating disorders is that restricting is quite hard. Our natural hunger cues makes us eat enough to not get sick. However frustrating hunger can be for dieters, if we take a drug that stops this, will we take away something that might be protecting us? Number 6. Do we end up needing it forever? If the drug only works when we take it, and it's not in itself changing our behavior on a permanent basis, then what? If we look at other weight loss drugs or remedies, what is mostly seen is that the effect stops when we stop taking it. I don't see in any way how WeGovy helps with behavior change on its own. As helpful it can be for a new start, for individuals who are handicapped by their weight problem, giving them a chance to start applying new behaviors. But the drug in itself doesn't provide new behaviors. So when you stop taking it, then what? Number 7. Does it take away some of life's pleasures? This part may be more for a sociologist or an anthropologist, but if I should give it a go, I would say that eating together, consuming food together, also has a lot of pleasure and social aspects connected with it. One of the things that I've witnessed with individuals with eating disorders or very restrictive diets is that it often compromises their relationships and social interactions. Being able to enjoy food and enjoy a meal with someone is a big part of most cultures, and most will report great food memories and pleasures connected with specific foods. Should it be concerning to us that WeGovy hinders this from happening? That instead of intake of food being connected with pleasure and enjoyment, that instead it causes nausea and discomfort? Do we even know what price we're paying for temporary weight loss? Number 8. Will it even work? There are many reports of weight loss, but I wonder if there is also reports of no weight loss. Roughly put, WeGovy works on making you eat less because you feel sick or stop feeling hungry. But as such, it does not work on all the other factors of overeating. There are many causes of overeating behavior. There can be social factors, food availability, or environment, habits. It can also be boredom, emotional factors, eating for comfort, stress, or it can be due to other psychological reasons such as impulsivity or addiction. WeGovy does not solve psychological or social factors. If hunger is the primary reason for overeating, it will work on that as it's designed to. But as it's not designed to work on the other factors, will it here make a difference? One thing springing to mind is that the effects of WeGovy don't solve food addiction. I know that that's not what they proclaim either, but now that we're talking about off-label use or using the drug outside the prescription, in my ears, WeGovy is not unsimilar to antabuse. Antabuse is the drug that we give alcohol addicts, which causes them to feel sick if they drink. The goal here is to make them stop drinking. We're efficient versa. Many with serious alcohol addiction will end up hurting themselves and their health by taking it because they drink anyways, and then they end up both drinking and feeling unwell. With food, the goal is not to stop eating. We need food to survive, so food addiction is a bit more complex. You have to eat every day, and here I cannot help think that WeGovy is maybe not a good match. I've also seen something like this with obesity surgery, where the operation just limits hunger but doesn't deal with the food addiction or the other causes of overeating, and the individual will end up overeating anyways and hurt their stomach sac and maybe burst their stitches. While being in the scary section here, let's go to the next one. Number 9. Is it a gateway? Now that it's difficult to obtain if you don't have a BMI over 30, you sort of have to secure it via other sources than your doctor. This means black market or otherwise cheating to get it. I cannot help be concerned whether this is a gateway. Reports are that many are sourcing WeGovy from dealers that they would have never otherwise thought to contact. We're here not talking about drug addicts, but normal young women and men and moms and dads. Is it a problem that more people are starting to cross that boundary? Should we be concerned? I've also been thinking about the way that WeGovy is taken. You have to stick a needle into yourself to administer a dose. Sticking yourself with a needle is in itself also crossing a boundary. But I cannot also help to think that if one prick a week will be enough, or if some will overdo it. So, number 10, last one. Is it a too easy fix? I'm all about working smarter, not harder. But here I am, as you can probably hear, not sure that taking WeGovy is smarter. Appetite suppressants are not a new thing. What might be new with WeGovy or Ozempic is that it's so popular and maybe stronger. But should that concern us rather than excite us? The problem with most weight loss drugs of the past have been side effects and maybe also their efficiency. We have to admit that we don't really know the effects of WeGovy long term yet. I cannot help to think that currently it sounds a bit too good to be true. In spite of all the side effects, costs, and so on, I get why people take it. I get the appeal. We want an easy fix. It's the human condition. We don't want to work hard and be patient. We want something that works now. We don't want to think about the long-term consequences or the other ways we could have done it that takes longer and are more demanding. I get it. I just hope that we don't learn otherwise, that the doctor's concerns are proven incorrect. For individuals with severe obesity, I can see how WeGovy can help in combination with working with a nutritionist and psychologist, helping the patient deal with their causes of their weight problem in the first place. But taking the medicine on its own will likely just limit food intake and make you feel physically not okay meanwhile. And then when you stop taking it, then what? It does not stop you from gaining it all back. The doctor's promise of first do no harm makes them think that it should be limited to people with BMIs over 30. They presume that all medication has side effects, but if obesity is causing harm, then it might be okay with the possible side effects the alternative consider. And that some doctors are considering that their patients will have to use it lifelong. What if we are not obese or have any health concerns due to weight? Is it then something we should use? Currently it's here, it's available. I don't know if it will be taken off the market as so many other diet drugs before it. So as with many other things, I guess it comes down to personal responsibility, that we think for ourselves and make the right life choices. Not everything that is a bad idea here in life is prohibited. There are many things that we can access that would be a bad idea if we used it inappropriately. I hope my rant of concerns helped you with your personal responsibility. That you will ask yourself the questions of, are we risking to waste money and suffering on something that won't work in the long run or after we stop taking it? Would our money and effort be better spent learning what works in the long run and giving ourselves time and patience, working on stress reduction, nutritious, fulfilling diet, and not using food to solve our emotions? Should we take something that makes us feel unwell? Or might it be better to invest in the knowledge about a normal diet and how to control overeating? What are your thoughts? I think this was all we had time for. What was your takeaway from today's video? As always, feel free to take away the information you can use, if any, and leave the rest. Hopefully you found that today's topic made sense and I did not waste your time. Please like and subscribe so my channel can grow. Take care and see you for the next one.